what is the first step to understand and fall in love with the Qur'an and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The question itself is beautiful, because talking about love, talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, didn't say I want to go to Jannah, I'm worried I'm going to do whatever. No. Fall in love. Like if someone asks you, and Allah is exalted and His book is exalted, but if somebody asks you, how do you fall in love with ice cream? Or this, honestly, because we all love this, or let's say chocolate, something you love, and somebody, they have never tasted it. And they look at you and says, what is so special about it? I mean, why do you love it? And this is how they say it. What do you tell them? The first thing you will say, you know why you don't love it? Because you've never tried it. You put one piece in your mouth and see how you will feel. True or false? Ice cream, whatever, again, you love. So the first step to love Allah, because if you love Allah, you will love the Qur'an. If you love the Qur'an, you will love Allah. It's connected. It just depends which one you start. If you just start trying, the problem many of us have, we're so scared. And we put the obstacle before the obstacle comes in. I can't memorize the Qur'an. Did you try? No way I can do it. I can't understand, I don't know Arabic. Did you try? So the first step to love anything you want, halal, is remove the negative thinking. Don't say, I can't do it. How many of you in this room, myself included, and I definitely lived this, when people looked at you and says, you will never be able to do this. Show me hands. Right? Absolutely. I heard it continuously throughout my career as a profession, as a physician, and as a career as I was studying. And then what happened? How many times you have heard it from physicians, you'll never be pregnant? And guess what? You got pregnant. So the first thing is remove the negative from you. It's not about people, it's you. Don't say I can. Don't say, well, I love Allah, look at me, where am I? Qur'an, I don't even know how to read. Don't say this. Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. If Allah wants all of us at this room in a second to memorize the whole Qur'an, we will do it before we leave today's class. He can. So that's number one. Practically, to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is this hadith Qudsi, which I love this hadith. Does anyone know which hadith I'm going to talk to about? Where Allah talks about love. لا ليس أنا عند حسن ظني عبدي, as I think I am, He subhanahu, as my servant think of me. No, there's a hadith Qudsi, long one. This is a beautiful hadith. I'm going to come to the second part, which is ما تقرب إلي عبدي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضته عليه. Nothing will bring us close to Allah. Nothing, without starting with the obligations. Don't tell me I do Qiyamul Layl and you don't wake up for Fajr. It doesn't work. And don't tell me I fast Monday and Thursday and I still look at haram and I enjoy it. Because looking at haram and enjoying it is an obligation not to do it. Monday and Thursday is a sunnah. It's beautiful, but we need to know the priorities. Yeah, like tomorrow you have a math exam. Do you study physics? And the physics on Friday? People will tell you, what are you doing? So the first step in getting closer to Allah, which means understanding His book, loving Allah, is number one, do what He told you to do, which means do and don't do. And to know this, I need to know, what did He tell me? If I ask everybody, and I do this all the time, what did Allah tell me to do? All of you are going to tell me, pray 5 times a day, fast Ramadan, go to Hajj if you can, the 5 pillars. That's it? That's very easy. And we forget the most important thing, which is the relationship between each other and what's in here. And what He told me not to do. Backbiting, lying, foul language, haram, looking at haram, being in places that's haram. These are all, this is not I'm a good person. This is no, period. So you want to get close to Allah, think of it, Allah is exalted, but just for us to make it easy, it's where the camera is in front of me, or where you are in front of me. If I get there, that's it. And this is basically the hadith. The first step to move from my chair to start the journey, I need to stay away from haram. Even if you say, do I do the obligation, the do, or I start with the don't? Usually they will tell you start with the don't. Because haram will prevent you from doing the obligation. Remember the sins? The whole 9 weeks series we did about sins. The first thing sins will do is will prevent you from doing good deed. You look at haram before you go to bed, good luck for your fajr. Period. That's when people come to me and says, I have a very hard time waking up for fajr. First thing I say, what do you do before you go to bed? Then we'll talk about the alarm, and then we'll talk about whatever. But what did you look last before you went to bed, or heard, or said? So, ما تقرب إلي عبدي. The first thing, I'm going to start the journey. Move haram as much as you can that you have control over. Like it's your choice. Like it's my choice when I go to my social media what I'm going to be looking at. It's my choice. There is some harams in the house, especially for us women. Maybe it is not completely in my hand. I need to work on this. But there is a lot that's in my hand. And then, وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ. Now, there is no love next step without the extras. If you look at the sunnah as sunnah, then don't talk to me about the love of Allah. If Maghrib will finish and you ran away out and you didn't do this 2 rak'ah that takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes, don't talk about the love of Allah. You're not there yet. When you love someone, and always think of the relationship with human beings, and Allah is exalted. When you love someone, don't you bring them the tea or the coffee before they ask? Right? And when they ask you, I say, because they love it. That's love. So when I go and do the extras, again, Monday and Thursday, I do the extra salawat, I do qiyamul layl, I hold my anger, or I held my tongue, and I really am upset, but I'm not going to do it because that's not pleasing to Allah. You started the journey of love. Now you're in the second step. And this is not only in Ramadan, when the masjid is full and everybody is doing Taraweeh, and the day of Eid we're done. And the hadith says, وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي. It's a continuous process. يَزَال, for those of you who know Arabic, فعل المضارع, the present verb, means now and the future. So it's not only today, only Monday, because now I spoke about it, so next Thursday you're fasting, and then next Monday I'm done. No, don't talk about love. You're obedient to Allah. You're getting, but there is no love yet. And he says, لا يزال, continue, يتقرب إلي بالنوافل. You know what's a nafila? For a nafila, right? Somebody comes in here and says, Salaam alaikum. Or you come in here and you say, Salaam alaikum. We don't know anybody, or you know nobody will answer you. That's a nafila. That's a good deed. That's an extra. Answering her is a wajib. Answering this person is an obligation. But just come in the masjid and say, Salaam alaikum. That's a good deed. Check. Right? You come in here and you see, I don't see it in this masjid. Inshallah, we should. But every masjid, like where I go, there's always boxes out there. You know, it says zakah, sadaqah, whatever. Just put $1. What is the $1? Right? I didn't say 5 or 6 to buy a coffee. It's just one. That's an nafila. That's what he's talking about. But continuously. And in every step in my life, in my day, there's an opportunity for a nafila. Making someone happy is a good deed. It's a nafila. It's not an obligation. It's your choice. But it is extra. When I was traveling back, subhanAllah, travel is an amazing thing because it teaches you a lot, subhanAllah. When I came to the plane, and then I was on the aisle, and then a couple came in. So the woman was in the middle, and the man was here. And I just looked at them and said, do you want to sit together? And I thought, like, they look in a good term, like they were talking. I was like, do you want to sit together? The woman looked at me, couldn't believe it. Says, really? I said, yeah, sure. Come on. Right? What did that cost me? Nothing. And I just moved to the next. That's a good deed. But we don't do it. We don't think of it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me think of it. So, لا يزال عبدي يتقرب إلي بالنوافل. What makes me A+ Muslim, this is how I call. A+ Muslim versus A versus B versus C is the extras. Because everybody, to be a Muslim, believe in Allah. Everybody who is not a failed Muslim, pray. Delayed, maybe few, and they don't reject Salah. But what makes you A plus Muslim? A plus Muslim is what Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, what Sayyidah Aisha described him, is the Qur'an, walking Qur'an. So now you continue to do this, now the love. The word love comes in the hadith, حَتَّى أُحِبُّهُ, till Allah loves you, or Allah loves me. We claim Allah loves me. And by the way, I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Having this dunya is not a sign of love. When Allah gives me everything I want, that doesn't mean He loves me. Sometimes you need to be very worried, because this could be a test. On the contrary, the sign that Allah loves me, what He said, فَإِذَا أَحْبَبْتُ, when I love Him, كُنْتُ سَمْعَهُ الَّذِي يَسْمَعُ بِهِ, I become His hearing, His eyesight, His hand, and His leg. You will not disobey Him. You will not enjoy looking at haram. You can't do that. So how do I know Allah loves me? These are the two signs. And then, وَلَئِنْ سَأَلَنِي لَأُعْطِيَنَّهُ, when He asks me, when you raise your hand, He'll give it to you on the spot. He always responds to the dua in 3 ways, you all know that. But this one is He will give it to you right away, because He used 2 forms in a word of tawqeed, emphasis. لَأُعْطِيَنَّهُ, لام التوكيد and نون التوكيد. 2. وَلَئِنْ اسْتَعَاذَنِي, this is what we need. When you seek refuge in Allah, He will give it to you on the spot. He will protect you. So how do I get to the love of Allah and to the love of the Qur'an? Start by do what He told you to do. And don't, it's difficult, that's for sure. Yani I say this to myself before I say it to anyone. Obeying Allah is not easy. It's very challenging. And it's becoming more and more harder. But then the moment you start the step or start the process, see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy. And once you fall in love with Allah, you will fall in love with His book. That's for sure.